Hi guys, and welcome back to Pass and Move. And for today's episode, we are back with the lively Liverpool series, and of course against Chelsea, like we promised. So of course, huge game normally because you're obviously facing Chelsea, but at the same time, they are the team that are just below us. 2 points difference. We do have a game in hand. Just 3 games left to the Premier League, to the conclusion of it. Obviously, there's other teams have played 36 games. But yeah, it's obviously an even bigger game just because we can win the game in hand. And of course, if we do win as well, we do go above Tottenham and could potentially win the Premier League title, of course. So we will definitely show you that Chelsea game. And there's a possibility of doing a back-to-back sort of thing with Burnley. And maybe we can even try and show all 3 games here because every game is going to be crucial. I'm not sure if I want to break it up into 2 different episodes or just stick it into one. So it depends on how long these episodes go. But anyways, in terms of what happened since the last episode, we showed you that loss to Manchester United, the 1-0 one in the Premier League. I thought it would prove to be costly, but apparently it didn't. We're still very much within reach. Of course, it would have been nice to have won. It would have put us in a more commanding position ahead of today's crucial clash away from home. But either way, we're still, just have to try and move on. And Manchester United again knocked us out of the semi-final cup as well. The FA Cup, the semi-final of it, and is tough. It is definitely tough. Back-to-back 1-0 losses are never nice, and especially against rivals. But I think I mentioned in the last episode as well, Jose Mourinho is very difficult to beat in FM, and the sooner we can try and get him fired for Manchester United, the better. But anyways, managed to bounce back from that result with a nice one, 4-0 against West Ham. We were at home. Van Dijk scoring, Lacazette, Mikel and Sadio Mane all on the score sheet. And it was nice to have 4 different goal scorers for us on that day. Against Crystal Palace though, I guess complacency must have set in or something, but Christian Benteke scored in the 76th minute, and unfortunately we couldn't go on and get a winner, but it was kind of upsetting that we couldn't hold on to the result and see it out as a 1-0 win. Crystal Palace fighting for relegation, to avoid relegation of course, so it's kind of understandable that they still managed to nick a point, and again I thought it would prove costly, but apparently Tottenham also drew that day, and so it wasn't too bad. And as long as we win our game in hand, we're safe from Tottenham, and there's just 3 Premier League games left. Bournemouth almost proved to be a similar situation, managed to go into halftime with a 2-0 lead. Mario Balotelli and Zé Gomez managed to overturn that game and turn it into a 2-2 draw, and I was almost going to absolutely lose my mind with the players before Lacazette popped up in the 90th minute to give us the winner and prove that we're capable of winning when we need to. Unfortunately, we couldn't do that against Crystal Palace, but we did against Bournemouth. So 2 away games, difficult ones, and of course a home game against Stoke. The good news is that Burnley and Stoke don't necessarily have anything to really play for in the Premier League, so it should be relatively easy wins, but all depends on the opponent's determination. But of course, Chelsea have plenty to play for today, so we're going to have to be at our best to try and beat them. So I think we can just go ahead and get into today's game, because we need to try and show as many games as possible in one episode. I don't want this to go beyond 20 to 30 minute mark. I'm not a fan of that. And then if need be, we can show you that 3rd and final game of the season, depending on the results of course as well. For out of the Premier League title race, then it just doesn't make any sense. But anyways, Chelsea playing with their usual weird formations. Very difficult to try and unlock this formation the way we play as well. And so we're going to have to be as good as we can be in every department. But we do have a very strong team, mostly first choice team. Actually, really is just first choice in every department. Lacazette, James Rodriguez together. We've got Mane and Salah on either wing, first choice players as well. Henderson, Keita, Arana, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, Gomez and Horn make up the team. And it's our strongest one available. And hopefully these backups here on the bench can prove to be game-changing ones. But yeah, we're going to have to take apart a very good Chelsea side with the likes of Belotti, Hazard, Morata, Kante, Arthur, Guerrero, Cancelo, Rudiger, Zuma, Mere and Courtois. It's going to be a very difficult one, a very interesting and exciting one. But yeah, apparently we can also qualify for Champions League football, so that's nice to know. Let's go with this team talk here, try and get our morale up a little bit. Seems to have worked. But yeah, I mean, we're going to have to be our absolute best if we want to have any hopes of winning the title. And of course, it's just such an incredibly huge game. And I'm hoping it helps us climb all the way up. Either way, I think we remain in 2nd. But we don't want to settle for that. This is a season where we're supposed to try and win the Premier League. A very last season of this Liverpool save. And the question is, can we win in the Premier League? Can we win the Premier League title before shutting this save down? Alright, so I think we've got everything set, to be honest. We've kicked off 3D replays, 2D during the match, and I think it's pretty much the best way to set up. It looks like we've got some early bits of dominance, but it's not going to mean anything until we actually get it on the score sheet. It's nice to see Hazard also suffer with a bit of an injury. Hopefully that helps him, or helps us, by making him underperform. And yeah, see, it's always an issue struggling with numbers in midfield. They're technically only playing 2 central midfielders, but the wing-backs count as midfielders, and I think they also count the wingers as midfielders, but yeah, it's just always tough, I guess. Anyways, first real highlight by the looks of it, Virgil van Dijk forward to Salah, who's been in a bit of poor form, but unfortunately for us, Chamberlain, his backup, is not available. Trent with the first delivery, he's going to have to do better than that. Lacazette was there as well, could have possibly converted. It looks like Chelsea are going to actually try and punish us in this highlight. So can we hold on? Cancelo receives the ball out wide. Or we need to try. Well, we're not going to be able to stop them like that. Cancelo with the deliveries, probably a better ball than. Yeah, oh, thank God that was denied by the crossbar, like the commentator says. Much better delivery than what Trent just offered. And we do need our inside forwards to try and keep an eye out on those wing backs, because yeah, I mean, I think what we can also do is drop our central midfielders to be defensive midfielders, and that might help us dominate that area a bit more. Like, can he find James Rodriguez? He does eventually. Can he score? He can't. Naby's there to pick up the pieces. What's he going to do? Dribbles all the way into the penalty box, and it is a penalty. And Lacazette's going to be the one to take it, and he can give us a very nice lead. But I am seriously considering the 2 DMs instead of 2 centre mids to try and deal with the wing-back threat, because our inside forwards are definitely not going to track back. Lacazette, and he scores. Was there ever a doubt? The top Premier League goal scorer grabs the first goal of the game, and I think very early on, we need to try and hold on to it, so I am going to go with those 2 DMs to make up for the wing-backs, the Chelsea's high wing-backs. The inside forwards are never going to track them, nor do I want them to track them. I want them to play their usual game and try and influence the game on the other side of the field, just as, you know, you kind of saw there before the penalty. And so we're just going to drop them. But yeah, 3D replay is always nice to see as well. So no way any goalkeeper is ever going to save that. It's just too good of a penalty from our star French player. Henderson with the set piece. Can we grab a second just before half time? Virgil van Dijk rises. Gomez is there. And Chelsea survive again. 2 clear-cut chances in our favour. But it's just a single goal, and we do have less possession. But it looks like we're kind of dominating this game. The highlight continues as well. Virgil van Dijk heads it down to Henderson for some reason. He finds Lacazette. What's he going to do? He delivers the cross. Virgil van Dijk's there. If he can put it back into the box, we might actually have a chance. But instead, Chelsea are going to try this on the counter. He's just going all the way back. There's no one freeing themselves. Eventually, it's Henderson, and he finds Mane out wide. What can our winger do? Okay, back to Henderson. Is he going to shoot from outside the box? Yes, he is. And that was never going to go in from Henderson. All right. So, looks like we will go into halftime just at 1-0 lead. We do need all 3 points. A draw would be a decent result, all things considered, but we need the 3 points to actually go top of the table and, of course, prove that we are deserving of the Premier League title as well. Just a cautious, happy with your performance so far. Team talk seems to be the way to go. We also need our players to continue, so we're just going to tell them we want to see some more improvement. And Chelsea are going to definitely try and switch things up in the second half. I mean, I think they're going to definitely continue with the same formation. As you can see, you got the high wing backs. The inside forward actually managed to drop this time, but that's why I've dropped the defensive midfielder so they can deal with that threat. And it looks like we're doing it quite decently. I think we will be trying to hit them on the counter more than anything. And Chelsea are the ones who have to come at us, so it makes more sense. I forgot to actually do this. It doesn't need to man mark the attacking midfield area anymore, because of course he's a defensive midfielder and naturally does that. But yeah, things are looking good for us, other than Mane getting injured in such a big game. There's 2 more Premier League games left. We don't want any serious injuries, so we'll have a look at that after the game as well. But we need a second if we have any hopes of seeing this game out with all 3 points. They're very well, actually we are, sorry, I thought we were there here for a second. We're very composed and motivated and that sort of business, so it's nice to see. We can look to make some substitutions, no one necessarily too poor, so I think we'll keep it as is for now. But I think, yeah, I don't know, I want to try and tell us to play a bit more safer. But the way we're dominating the game suggests that we don't necessarily have to be too safe, and so I'm going to avoid that. But they do have the set piece, so let's see what happens here. We can hit them on a counter, or they're going to score from it. Servi works his way into the box, and Horn does well to save it. We're going to have to see better defending there, though. Servi left absolutely free to shoot if he wanted to. Another set piece, cleared this time by Virgil van Dijk, and Guerrero is going to try and get his team going. We need to find some shape here. Everyone trying to close him down for some reason. Force him back to Arthur, and now we're back into our good shape. Alright, what can we do now? Take off James Rodriguez for Pablo Fornals and Jorginho for Naby Keita. And that's only the 2 real attacking changes we can make. The game wanted to show a highlight there for a second before we made the substitution, so you have to wonder, do we just stop something good from happening or something bad? 10 minutes left to go either way. And you have to say Chelsea are growing into this game, which is a bit concerning, so maybe I'll just tell my players to work the ball into the box and dribble a little bit less, so we're not playing anything risky. It's another set piece in Chelsea's favour. Cancelo's there. Van Dijk again under the ball, and can we get the counter? No, it's Arthur who picks up the ball for his team, and Servi's found free again. Square to Van Ginkel. He's going to shoot. And oh my god, that looked like it was on target. Thankfully, the 2D makes it look like it's still on target, but it went over the crossbar, and that's all that matters. Can we hold out? Chelsea going for the Christmas tree formation. Come on, boys, just a minute left. Alright, referee. All over. Great. Very, very huge win. 1-0 win the Premier League title, as Sir Alex Ferguson used to say. And that was a huge performance. We were not favourites. We desperately needed it, and a penalty was all that was needed apparently. But yeah, we do face Burnley still, currently leading the Premier League the Premier League table, not the title race. And a win against Burnley can really set us off nicely, especially if I think Tottenham are going to play today as well. Our game in hand is the game against Burnley, if I'm not mistaken. We'll actually have a quick look at the Premier League. Where are Burnley? They're mid-table. Yeah, so they are a game in hand, I think. Tottenham haven't played their game. They're going to be playing it tomorrow, so we might already find out whether the Burnley clash is going to be crucial or not. But yeah, we've ended Chelsea's Premier League title hopes, so that's more important than anything, I suppose. And qualified for Champions League and got a nice little budget there. As you can see, 170 million is an incredible amount of money, to be honest. We want to rest some players, make sure they're fresh for the game in 2 days' time. Or 3 days, I suppose. Just rest them for 2 days. And that's it. I think give us a moment and we will be back for the game against Burnley. And welcome back, guys, and we've got huge news. Tottenham drew with Newcastle, who are of course very close to the relegation zone, and that's why it's such a huge game for them. Burnley pretty much safe, not really have anything to play for, no Europa League football, none of that sort of thing. We should be able to beat them and secure the Premier League title, because our goal difference is too big to Tottenham. There's no way they're going to score 23 goals in the final game of the season. So if we do win our game against Burnley, we will win the Premier League title. And of course we still will have the opportunity to do so against in our final match as well against Stoke. It's a huge game. We don't want it to come to that final day of the season. We want to win today and show you guys on camera us winning the Premier League title to end this series on a high note, which would be perfect, really. Alright, so I think we can get into today's game. Just a couple of changes, really. Timo Horn, our first choice goalkeeper, got injured in a very bad timing, fractured cheekbone. I'm not sure why that keeps him out of football for good. I wanted to give him an injection or something. But Lafont's a very capable backup goalkeeper, as he's proven to be. He's out only for 2 to 3 weeks. Mane, of course, picked up the injury that will keep him out for a couple of weeks as well. So we've put in Kent as well as Lafont, of course, in goal. And then we've just made the change of taking off James Rodriguez due to his poor form and put on Pablo Fornals, who's in good form himself. And of course, we can still, bring on James Rodriguez on the off the bench if need be. But hopefully Pablo can continue his good form and also prove why he should be playing ahead of James Rodriguez. Anyways, away from home, let's get into it and win the Premier League title, hopefully. 3 points are needed. Burnley, like I said, don't have anything to play for, but you never know in football, so let's hope we can prove our dominance. Alright then, this is going to have to be a team talk of the century. Let's go with this one. And of course, the faith in them always, and apparently they're ready for the game ahead. Okay, then, if the players aren't nervous, I'm not sure how they're not, because I am, and I'm not even playing. So let's see how it goes. 4-4-2 has always proven very tricky against the 4-2-3-1 formation. We've struggled against it in the past. 2 strikers against the 2 centre backs, of course. There's full backs as well, but they're very attacking, so it's tough to face. And very early. Oh, okay, Baker's sent off. Apparently that's perfect for us. It's no longer a 4-4-2. He's got a single striker, but sometimes that can inspire a team to go on and perform well. And look at that, Phobia already sent through, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Can we stop that from happening? Lafont, it's just about squeezes in. You can already tell. Well, I mean, of course, there's already drama, but Burnley are definitely going to try and hold on for as long as possible. But we do have plenty of time to make up for it. But this is one hell of a through ball. Looks more accidental than anything, but this is too easy to take our defense apart. I mean, look at that, just a single ball. No one's following Afobe. Our goalkeeper sweeper comes out like he's supposed to. Probably could have done a bit of a better job and closed the angle down, I suppose, but Afobe's shot is just powered through so that he can score the first clear-cut chance of the game and put us under tremendous pressure to turn this game around. There's an immediate highlight to that, so hopefully it's a response from ourselves and not a second goal in their favour. They're definitely going to be playing on contain, on every defensive, football as much as possible. Lacazette finds Arana really well. Can he deliver a good ball into the box up? Yes, and there you go. Peg them right back, but a point won't do the job. We need all 3 points. We need the win desperately, but good signs of recovery there immediately. We didn't necessarily deserve to go down, so it's nice to see us come back into the game, and we need a second without a doubt. They have a man down. There's no excuse for just a single point, but that's a hell of a delivery and a hell of a header from the player who we said was in good form and who we dropped James Rodriguez for. Rana picked up an injury, so good thing we've got... Wait, I put him on the bench, I swear. Oh, Tierney, there you go. Alright, then it's a bit of a shame to see the player who provided the assist come off. Hopefully Tierney can also put in an equally important and good performance as well, because of course our fullbacks are so important in the way we play. The complete wing backs, they play, they roam, they deliver the crosses for us. They're pretty much the only players who cross in our team. This does not look good though. We're not playing that great. Thankfully it's a poor pass and Trent can get us on our way. Henderson, he loses out and Afobe is there again to try and punish us, but not good to see our deep line playmaker lose the ball so easily there. Pablo, she's going to try and grab us a second, I suppose. Looks like there's awful passes going all the way around between both teams. Afobe is the one who finds Cork. I have to say, I'm not a fan of how we're playing. Willock just walks through our defenders. Afobe, and what on earth is going on? I'm very tempted to drop Henderson back because of the way we're performing. It's just very unusual. And it looks like we can't even find each other with our passing, so hopefully that helps it. And there's another highlight right after that change. It has been made. Henderson is a defensive midfielder as a deep line playmaker, and it seems to have worked. Kent finds Pablo well, and it's 2-0, and the man who he said, 2-1, sorry, the man who he said could make the difference has made the difference. It's a double for him, and he could potentially win us the Premier League title. And now it's just a question of whether we can hold on against the Burnley side who have already proven themselves to be dangerous. 2 clear-cut chances. We're lucky they only scored 1 of them, and that switch of play is incredible. But this little dribble from Kent is really good. Takes his man on, puts the ball past him, and also finds the pass. And Pablo doesn't need any time to take the ball down. He just volleys it in, and he must be incredibly happy to have just started the game today in such a crucial game, and he's repaid every bit of my faith in a way that you have to wonder whether James Rodriguez could have done as well. But you have to forget about that and just think about how well Fornals is doing. The question is, can we extend our lead in the second half? Because that is all that matters. We can wrap up the Premier League title with a game to go in a season where we weren't necessarily first for much of it. I actually want to have a quick look. We can have a look at the stages. I know this isn't exactly the perfect time for it, but if we have a look at stages, I think it's past positions, is it? Liverpool, where have we been? Look at that. just been all around. At some point we're just fourth. It looks like we're just going to go around to another Champions League qualification, fourth, third. And eventually it's just second. And again, you know, you have to kind of feel bad for Tottenham. Look at that in comparison. They're first for a while. Of course, they have such a weird start to their season. I mean, look at this. This is just how unpredictable. Even Southampton, for much of it, they were first. And suddenly they're just going to... might not even qualify for Champions League football. So, crazy Premier League season. And we could potentially capitalize on such a crazy season. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what to say to my players. I don't want them to be complacent. They are motivated. They know what's on the line. That's why no one's necessarily complacent. But we can give it a little bit and then remind our players to concentrate through this little team talk here instead. I feel like we have done well to turn the game around, so I didn't want to really dampen that by turning them off, I suppose. Henderson's also done really well by slotting into the defensive midfield area as well. It's, I think, shored things up a little bit for us, a bit more too. We've definitely looked more defensively solid since. Having said that, there's a highlight, and we don't want to get caught on the counter. The way Naby's playing, we're going to lose it, but he does find Henderson quite well. Deep line playmaker spreads out wide to Trent Alexander-Arnold, first time into Salah, and there is another penalty. And again, we have to ask, can Lacazette finish it the same way he finished the one in the previous game? It's an even more important penalty, you could argue. And he scores in a very similar manner. You can tell why. He's our first choice for the Premier League. And of course, 37 goals in the season in all competitions. And he's just been one hell of a signing for us. Look at that. Okay, you'd argue goalkeeper could do a bit better there than the Chelsea one. But either way, 3-1 and the Premier League title is surely ours if we can keep things going. But Burnley are not looking to make it that comfortable for us. They're going to try and hit us on the counter. We've got 4 versus 1, but the way he's running us looks dangerous. We have to shut him down a bit better than we have done so far. Can he find his teammate in the box? He looks like he will try. Afobe's there. And he heads it over, thankfully. But it is Burnley's third clear-cut chance of the game. And despite dropping Henderson into defensive midfield, they're still finding their chances, Burnley. We're playing on control, which is naturally to deal with the counter threat. We're not doing too good of a job for it, and I'm a bit tempted to drop Naby into defensive midfield as well, the way Burnley are playing. Talked about even if a team goes that man down, sometimes they still are, you know, they put in an even more inspired performance just for, you know, dropping. But I feel like a lot of our problems are because they close us down. So if I just put in the pass into space instruction, we should deal with the threat a bit better. I think I'll do that and see whether that makes a change before I attempt to drop Naby into the defensive midfield, because obviously I want to avoid that as much as possible. He is our roaming playmaker. I'm more of a fan of them being in the central midfield than the defensive midfield. But Burnley are trying to threaten our Premier League title chances. I can't let them do that. Highlight continues. Cork on the ball. He's proven to be one of their key players, and definitely not holding back with the man down. Look at that, they just only have the 2 centre-backs holding back. Not playing defensively at all. Alright, Lacazette with a set piece. That's going to need better delivery than that. And looks like this highlight's again going to be all about Burnley. Almost on the counter. Virgil van Dijk does pick up the ball, but looked initially like he had no one there, but Kent receives it well, and Naby can square it to Henderson. What can the deep line playmaker do? Pablo, what a ball out wide. He's having one hell of a game. Trent Alexander-Arnold back post, and it's 4-1. Not offside. The assistant referee runs back to the centre circle. And you have to say, it's surely over now. And this game has been all about this man right here, Pablo Piatti. One hell of a ball. That's definitely a key pass. Trent with the delivery and the assist, and Kent with a kind of a flying volley, to be honest. But 4-1. I want us to rub the salt in their wounds as much as possible. Let's try and take off some tired players. Naby, let's share the pleasure of winning the Premier League title a game early. Obviously not hugely dominant in the league, but point is, you won the title, and that's all that really matters. We've eventually trumped everyone else in a season where we weren't necessarily expected to win the title. and I think Kent, an injured Kent, will come off for Origi. But before we can make that change, there is a highlight, and Kent's still playing. Pablo through to Lacazette. I've encouraged the pass into space instruction, so hopefully we see more of that. Lacazette's going by himself. Decent shot, but you have to wonder whether this is really key highlight worthy. What a way to win the title. Not only by today's performance, but the huge win against Chelsea is what set us up here. And this definitely wasn't what I expected to be the last episode of the series. I won't 100% sure, won't be showing you the last game of the season. It doesn't make any sense anymore. And instead, we'll just have a quick look at the end of the episode at our statistics for the season. And even off camera, I won't really be playing that last game. Just doesn't make any sense anymore. Moving on to the next save. And okay, there's a fifth one there. Into our next career mode. And of course, I'd love to hear suggestions. Some people were shouting for Italy, Spain. I'm definitely considering going to Italy and playing with AC Milan as an option. I'm also considering going to France and playing with Saint-Étienne. Played with them before in FM18. I think I have that somewhere in my YouTube channel. But it was more of a travel mode, I suppose. But yeah, with Saint-Étienne, it's very interesting because, of course, they have the record for the Ligue 1 most title wins, but currently they're a mid-table team. So to turn them back into being Ligue 1 winners once more before PSG can overtake them, as you know, winning the most titles record, because obviously PSG don't have that many titles. It's just recent history where they've started to win. Everyone knows why, of course. But yeah, Saint-Étienne definitely dropped off the pace a huge amount, and to turn them back into, you know, title winners once more would be a huge challenge. A little bit more interesting than AC Milan, but yeah, I mean, to take on AS Monaco and PSG would be huge. But yeah, this one's even more important. 5-1, we win the Premier League title, and I really can't fault anyone's performances there. I forgot we don't get the confetti until the last game of the season, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not going to play a whole game for just the confetti. We've won it, that's all that matters. The board only expected Champions League football. I told the players from the start my expectations were to win the title. They've responded well, we've invested well as well, and it's all come together in such a perfect way to end the season, really. Not even just the season, the perfect way to end the save is what I mean, because it looked like a moment there where we weren't going to finish off the series with a Premier League win, but we've done it. And there's nothing to show for it, apparently. It's a bit weird. Pablo Fornals with a hat-trick, or basically single-handedly won the game for us. Did mention before, I gave the team talk of us winning. Where's it gone? Yeah, see, it says if we win it, if we just win one of our last 2 games. So I'm not sure why it doesn't say that we've won the title. Or does it do that after the last game of the season? I forgot. I always forget how it goes, to be honest. Alright. Where Tottenham? Yeah, so even if they win, it's 27 goal difference. We have won. And I'm not sure why it's not showing us. I just want to forward to the Stoke game and see what the game says. I'm not liking that it hasn't. Actually, there's another way of finding out, isn't there? Stages, is it? No, it hasn't said that we're winners yet. That's weird. I swear it changes to W. I guess mathematically it's still somehow possible, so maybe we should play. I don't really care about that anyways. This is not going to be a problem for me for a long time. Yeah, let's go back to competitions. Where's that again? Qualify. Alright, are we really doing this? Great, let's move on. Okay, so there's still another Wow, alright. So apparently we could have won it only if Tottenham drew or lost or something, but yeah, 23 goal difference. We just need a single point to become champions. And I guess we will be showing the Stoke game. Doesn't make any more sense. I think even if we lose and they win, our goal difference is superior, and it just doesn't make any sense. It's just mathematically possible, I suppose. If I have a look at the rules, you can see it's goal difference, then goals scored. I'm pretty sure we've overtaken Tottenham in both those departments. And I think for the Stoke game, I'll just be showing it on... We just want to skim it as much as possible. I don't want to show the whole game. I don't even want to put key highlights on. I think I'll just put on replays and have it on only commentary and just skimming through the game as quickly as possible. This episode's been going on for too long for my liking. So we'll get through this as quickly as possible. So let's tick off some injured players. Trent, Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, all in good form. Varana's injured, unfortunately, sorry. Henderson, Naby, both in good form. Salah picked up the pace a little bit, but not too much. Let's give James Rodriguez a chance this time, and Kent is off. It's supposed to be for Mane, but unfortunately he's injured too. Just got a hugely injured squad at the moment. We're actually going to play... Can't be bothered promoting any of the youngsters for this last game, so we'll just play with 6 substitutes. Let's see what happens. Alright. Not concerned about this game at all. Surprised, I guess it's mathematics, so it makes sense, but let's go with this. Team talk, we're at home, last game of the season. I don't think it's necessarily fair to the players to kind of... let's do that. Alright. So, a very defensive Stoke team, of course. Not only are they playing a 5-man backline, not even wing-backs as well. Apparently James Rodriguez scored. We can have a quick look at that. Again, our attacking midfielders going head-to-head in terms of trying to win their spots in the team. But yeah, that's a nice ball and a nice finish as well from James Rodriguez, more importantly. He points to the back of his shirt. But yeah, 5-man backline, no wing backs even, 2 defensive midfielders. You'd think it'd be very difficult to break the Stoke team apart. We've done it once, but we're going to need another to actually... And there you go, James Rodriguez scores the second. That's perfect. I was trying to hope that this... Well, not trying to hope, I was trying to see if we can get by this game quickly. Apparently not, though. What a header from Lacazette. I mean, he could definitely have finished it off himself. But if he meant that header down to James Rodriguez, that was incredible vision to find his teammate free there. And he has definitely been our most important man, Lacazette, without a doubt. Not just because of the goals. He scored goals in such crucial moments, single-handedly helped our team at other moments. And really, well, James Rodriguez is just having a crazy game now. He's really responded well to being dropped for Pablo in the previous game. He saw the threat and he's risen to, or rose, whatever you want to call it, to the occasion. He's got on a hat-trick here, and this one's from outside the box, and that's a neat and accurate finish. And that's a hat-trick for him. I'm tempted to not even show replays anymore because 3-0's kind of a game, set and match. So like I mentioned, both Stoke and Burnley had nothing to play for, and that kind of explains why it's proven to be relatively easy to beat both teams. Tottenham had a relatively more difficult run-in because they faced the likes of Newcastle fighting relegation. We also faced Crystal Palace, for example, Chelsea as well. We had very similar run-ins, and we've managed to come out of it with very decent results, and of course, as today shows, a Premier League title win. And it shows just that we deserve it as well. A single shot in Stoke's favour, and I don't think that was even on target. And I have to say, I'm very pleased with how the players have performed. And it's all about getting to that final whistle so we can finally, I guess, see the confetti. More importantly, just get that nice little inbox message that says that we've secured the Premier League title officially. Mathematically, of course, because the game can be annoying like that sometimes. It'd be the same thing in real life as well. But with a 23 goal difference, I was never concerned. So let's look to make some substitutions. No one for Tierney. Can take off Naby for Jorginho. It's taken us 3 seasons, but it has happened. We have won the Premier League title. So a bit longer than I would have liked. I think I could have been a bit more harsh in my decision making with certain players. I definitely waited a bit too long to reinvest in certain areas because I wanted to try and trust my players. I have a tendency to do that. But either way, it's all, come together, and managed to win it in the 3 seasons. This is our 3rd season. Won the Premier League title, and it's just a nice way to end our. Just tell the players to concentrate. Yeah, just a nice way to end the save, and obviously it would have been really nice to get a Champions League medal as well, but wasn't for us. We can have a quick look at as well at what we've won so far with Liverpool, but the main thing, our main objective was always to win the Premier League. Everything else was secondary, and managed to do it, and really that's all I'm concerned about. So we need a complete forward more than anything, so I'm going to move Origi up as a striker, move Rodriguez into the inside forward role, and we made all 3 substitutions, so unfortunately can't actually. It's very unfortunate for Lacazette to get an injury now, of all times. Deserved to end the season top goal scorer and fit to collect the trophy. I don't think he's even our captain, to be honest, but that's not my point. There you go, we have won the Premier League title, and what a huge win. Thoroughly professional job. Now I'd love to see that inbox, please. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better 3 games from my players. All wins, all very confident wins as well. Very mental, a lot of mental strength to actually get through them. And there you go. Liverpool clinched the English Premier League title. That's all that matters. Lacazette's only out for 3 weeks, I suppose. There you go, Liverpool board, very happy, huge confidence. And Liverpool finally won the Premier League after many years. And that's kind of it. That's all that we want to see. So, you can have a quick look at our history of the save as well. So, if I go to my profile, I'm almost 4-star rating, so that's nice to see. Job history though. 3rd, 2nd, and eventually it was 1st. We got there slowly. Man of the month, that's not what. Milestones. My career. Awards is only thing. Nope. Competitions. No, there you go. Okay, so we won the League Cup twice, the FA Cup once, and the Premier League title. More importantly, I suppose, is that we've won a trophy in every season that we've played in. I think this 2018 one is the 2017-2018 season. That's why it shows up here. And then 2018-2019 we won the FA Cup as well as the League Cup, and then we won the League Cup this season, so maybe it was 2018 was the 2nd season. Either way, decent amount of trophies. Point was to win the Premier League, and we've done that. We've reached our objective and finally done it. So yeah, that's all for the save. Have a quick look at the stats, like the Premier League one. Lacazette, top goal scorer, as expected. We don't have the most clean sheets, but yeah, if you just want to have a look at quickly, you can pause here, but average rating, Trent's one of the top ones, and it's good to actually see. We need our fullbacks are very important in our game, like we mentioned. Top goal scorer, Lacazette, of course. Mane, James Rodriguez, Salah, all very good. Assists, quite a couple of doubles here, good to see. Most appearances, always James Rodriguez and Virgil van Dijk, very key players for us. But yeah, I think that's all for today, as well as for the save. So if you did enjoy it, of course, please do hit the like button and subscribe for more Daily Football Manager 2018 content. And of course, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. And once again, thank you guys very much for watching.